Hi, Taehyung lovers all over the world. Welcome back to the Taehyung Lovers Worldwide channel. 3 seconds. Don't skip, because March 2026 once again proved the same thing. Power does not always arrive with a loud sound. Sometimes it comes through a single quiet post that makes the global fashion industry hold its breath. There was no big bang, no luxurious press conference, just one sentence from Grazia on Instagram, and the atmosphere of the world instantly changed. One name dominated the timeline once again: V from BTS. Fashion Week is just around the corner, and BTS star V is ready. The sentence sounded light, but in a world built on symbols, momentum, and the power of image, it was a strong signal. London read it, Milan reacted, Seoul prepared. Because when the name Kim Taehyung is mentioned in the context of Celine from March 7th, it is not just about sitting in the front row. It is a statement of position. He is not a guest. He is a magnet. And what made the public even more restless was a contrast that followed. A dramatic black and white visual with a touch of red, a half-hidden gaze, a structured coat, an aura that cannot be taught. Then suddenly, reports of filming at a school with uniform and backpack, from modern aristocrat to teenage student within days. This is not coincidence. This is strategy. This is evolution. Why does the world always pause when he steps forward? Why does every appearance trigger debate, admiration, even anger? Is this just visual, or are we witnessing a transformation bigger than the fashion world itself? In this video, we will break it all down. Facts, data, public reactions, and even a glimpse of a future that many may not yet realize. So before we go deeper, write in the comments, in your opinion, is this just an ordinary fashion appearance or a step towards something much bigger? Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. And if you believe the world should always see the goodness of Kim Taehyung, don't hesitate to help this video go viral. Because this time, what happened is not just a moment. It is a Because March 2026 did not begin with a loud explosion or a luxurious press conference, but with one simple post that instantly made the global fashion industry hold its breath. One name dominated the timeline again: V from BTS. Within minutes after Grazia's Instagram account uploaded that suggestive sentence, the atmosphere shifted drastically. Fashion Week is just around the corner, and BTS star Kim Taehyung V is ready. The sentence sounded light, but in a world built on symbols and momentum, it was a strong signal. London, Milan, and Seoul read the same message. Something will happen on March 7th, and it is not just an ordinary appearance. The post continued with a tone that stirred even more curiosity. Still mesmerized by the celebrities in the front rows of London and Milan, the fashion calendar is about to heat up starting now, with BTS singer V hinting at appearing at the Celine event on March 7th. That message turned expectation into global anticipation. The world knows that when the name Kim Taehyung is mentioned in the context of Celine, it means more than just sitting in the front row. It is a statement of position. It is a confirmation that he is not a guest. He is a magnet. The visuals that circulated afterwards strengthened that narrative. A sharp black and white concept with a dramatic touch of red created a bold and intense impression. Wrapped in a dark turtleneck and a structured coat, Taehyung did not merely stand, he commanded the space. His shoulders slightly tilted, his chin subtly lifted, and his gaze half hidden behind naturally falling hair. The camera did not just capture his face, it seemed to follow the direction of his energy. In the international modeling industry, many celebrities try to break the boundary between popularity and visual credibility. But in this moment, Taehyung did not look like a singer trying to be a model. He appeared as a figure who understands the language of the lens, rhythm, angles, intensity, even the pause of breath before the shutter clicks. His jawline is firm, his bone structure precise, and his eyes hold an emotional depth that is difficult to fake. Many fashion analysts call it presence control, the ability to fill a frame without excessive movement. He does not shout to attract attention. He simply stands. And attention comes on its own. In a visual ecosystem full of distractions, such ability is a rare asset. This is what makes his collaboration with major fashion houses feel symbiotic, not opportunistic. Public reaction exploded. Online communities like the Koo were filled with comments of admiration. Many said he stands in a different class, praising his pose and gaze as comparable to professional European models. Some even described his photos as works of art rather than mere promotional material. But amid the praise, another discussion began to rise: his acting potential. After his appearance in IU's music video, Love Wins All, the public once again highlighted his ability to convey emotion without long dialogue. His expressions were considered capable of carrying a narrative solely through his gaze and subtle facial shifts. In the film world, such micro-expression ability is a crucial foundation for an actor. The conversation intensified when fan reports mentioned Taehyung being seen filming in the Seongsu area at a high school wearing a full uniform and backpack. The contrast was striking. Just days earlier, he appeared as a modern aristocrat in CELINE. Now he transformed into a grounded teenage student. This transformation felt organic, not forced. In modern branding theory, narrative flexibility is the key to global career sustainability. Taehyung seems to understand this very well. He is not trapped in one image, but moves across a spectrum of characters without losing his core identity. What makes this phenomenon even more fascinating is how every appearance triggers a surge of online conversation and cross-platform engagement. In an industry measured by numbers, data speaks clearly, but behind those numbers lies something stronger: collective emotion. Some are mesmerized, others question the seemingly unshakable dominance. That polarization is not a sign of saturation. It is proof of relevance. A figure capable of evoking emotion, both admiration and debate, is a figure that cannot be ignored. As March 7th approaches, the world's attention is fixed on the front row and the runway that will soon light up. But even before the stage lights turn on, one fact is already clear. When V steps forward, the world does not merely watch. The world pauses, holds its breath, and realizes they are witnessing evolution of an artist moving beyond the limits of a K-pop idol. He is not just a campaign face, not merely a guest of honor. He is a living narrative of how music, fashion, and the possibility of acting converge in one single figure. And the question now is no longer whether he is ready for the next global stage, but how large that stage must expand to contain him. And this is where we pause, but the story is not over, because March 2026 once again proved the same thing. The greatest power does not always come with the loudest sound. It does not begin with explosions or luxurious press conferences. It begins with one simple post that makes the global fashion industry hold its breath. One name dominates the timeline again: V from BTS. Within minutes after Grazia wrote that suggestive sentence, the atmosphere changed. London, Milan, and Seoul read the same message. March 7th is not just a date, it is a moment. When the name Kim Taehyung is mentioned in the context of CELINE, the world knows this is not about sitting in the front row. It is about position. It is about magnetism. From dramatic black and white visuals, a sharp gaze commanding the camera, to reports of school uniform filming in Seongsu, all form one grand narrative: evolution, not coincidence, not temporary sensation, but calculated movement. And now the question for you, Taehyung lovers, is this the peak? Or is this just the beginning of something much bigger? Thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoy content like this, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next moment. If you don't like it, feel free to skip, because the Taehyung Lovers channel never forces anyone. But if you believe the world should continue to see the goodness and work of Kim Taehyung, don't hesitate to share and help it go viral. Because one thing is certain: when he steps forward, the world stops. And us, we will always be in the front row to witness it.